Hi everyone, today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to use the blur tool in Photoshop. If you're hoping to soften distracting areas in a photo, create a beautiful dreamy effect, or simply fine-tune a part of your image, you're in the right place. By the end of this tutorial, you'll know how to use the blur tool with confidence and you'll understand not just how, but why it's such a handy feature. Let's get started. First things first, open up your Photoshop. If you already have it running, great. And if you're opening it up for the first time, don't worry, it might take a few moments for everything to load. Now, once you're in, go ahead and open the image that you want to work on. This could be any photo, maybe a portrait where you want to gently blur the background, or a product shot where you want to help the subject pop. To open an image, just click File up at the top, then select Open, and choose your photo from your computer. It may sound basic, but I always pause here, because sometimes people spend ages hunting for their file or wondering why it isn't showing up. Just double-check your file type and make sure your image isn't already open in another program. Now, once your image is up on the screen, let's find the blur tool. If you look on the left side of Photoshop, you'll see the toolbar. This is filled with icons for different tools, and the blur tool usually looks like a water droplet. If you don't see it right away, it might be grouped with other similar tools, like the sharpen tool or smudge tool. Click and hold on that group to expand it, and then select the blur tool. Here's where the magic happens. Once you've activated the blur tool, you'll notice some options appear up at the top of the workspace. Things like brush size and strength. Feel free to experiment a little here. If you're working on a small, detailed section, choose a smaller brush. For large areas, a bigger brush works best. Adjust the strength to control how intense the blur effect will be. For subtle changes, keep it lower. For dramatic blurring, push it higher. Now, with your blur tool selected and your settings dialed in, move over to the area of your image you want to blur. Let's say you're editing a portrait, and you want to soften the background so your subject stands out. Just gently click and drag over that area. You'll notice the pixels start to lose definition and blend together. If you're blurring something detailed, maybe a license plate or a logo in the background, feel free to zoom in for more control. The key here is you can keep clicking and brushing over the area until you're happy with the effect. Don't be afraid to pause and check your progress every now and then. It's pretty normal if the first pass doesn't blur enough. Just keep going until you see the change level off, where further brushing doesn't make much difference. One thing I always remind people is to be patient here. The blur effect can look gradual, and sometimes it's easy to go a bit overboard if you're working quickly. If that happens, don't worry. You can always undo with Ctrl+Z or dial the strength back and try again. Think of the blur tool almost like lightly smudging the edge of a pencil drawing to soften it. You're not erasing detail, just nudging pixels so they're less sharp. Once you're satisfied with your blur, take a step back and survey your image as a whole. Sometimes a subtle blur is the perfect touch, and sometimes you'll want to get creative and blur multiple areas. Play around. The blur tool is there for you to experiment, and that's all there is to it. You've just learned how to use Photoshop's blur tool to enhance your images in a really practical way. If you found this tutorial helpful, please hit that like button. And if you have any questions, big or small, drop them in the comments below and I'll be happy to help out. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tricks on Photoshop and photo editing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.